Hi guys, welcome back to Umineko. Mariah still hasn't come back. I wonder if she's getting scolded by Aunt Rosa again. Ever since they met Mariah at the airport, she'd been romping around, chatting about Halloween the whole time. But maybe she cut loose a little too much attention, acting a little too boisterous on the plane, on the boat, and during lunch because Rosa had cautioned her several times. At times like that, Aunt Rosa tended not to scold her in front of people. More often, she would take Mariah aside and scold her alone. So since Mariah had been called off somewhere, they figured she must be getting scolded. When they looked at the clock, they realized it's almost 6. Of course, they couldn't imagine she'd be getting scolded all this time. Maybe it was time for some anime she watched every week to start. She probably didn't let the mansion's parlor. Maybe Battler Summer woke up and they'd been playing together. After all, Mariah thinks of Battler as a new friend. She must have had a lot of fun when she played Halloween with Battler at the airport. Battler looked like she was having a lot of fun himself. Maybe he's gotten big, but he has changed a bit. That's true. I get the feeling Battler somehow was gracious enough to remain as he was 6 years ago. Shannon, do you remember what he was like then? Yes, because he was, well, very energetic, giggle. I also remember the four of us playing together 6 years ago. Shannon acted a lot like a big sister back then. That's right. I get the feeling she was even more dependable than she is now. Back then, I didn't truly understand my place, so I did quite a few rude things. Don't worry about understanding your place in that sense. When you're on the job, it's one thing, but when you're taking your break and with us, like now, I'd rather you stay and be friendly, just like the old days. That's right, there's nothing wrong with acting differently depending on whether you're serving Shannon or off-duty Sayo. You aren't a slave, you're just working as a servant, right? I think of you as Shannon, no Sayo's my oldest friend. Thank you very much, my lady, and it seemed that Shannon understood the hidden meaning behind Jessica's words. After all, she heard a bit about Jessica and Ken and sister from both of them. Apparently, George had heard something of that history too. He walked towards the window and looked up at the darkening rainy sky. Kenny may still be childish in some ways, but I think he's starting to do something. I didn't mean to skip that, sorry guys. Anyway, well, ha 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 ha. Come on, quit it already. Well, I guess I'll let myself get swept away by the mood once or twice. After watching you two, I might have gotten a bit jealous, feeling like I was getting left behind. But forget about me. More importantly, how's it going between you two? Looks like it's going pretty good, huh? I wonder. Yes, it's going very well. Shannon was lost for words, her face red, while George answered brightly and immediately. That carefree attitude made it easy to see that the relationship was proceeding so perfectly and make anyone envious. Then I'm jealous. So does that mean Shannon's gonna be deciding to have a party soon? I wonder. That was a good question. I wonder what she'll say. George laughed teasingly as though pressing Shannon for an answer. It was probably the only way they usually flirted when they were alone. Jessica could sense it, I think. Sorry guys, I keep skipping. I'm just not expecting it to. I sometimes accidentally double tap and stuff. And sometimes I don't expect it to in there, like a paragraph or something. But sorry, guys, I apologize once again. So pause it real quickly back a few seconds ago if you want to read it. I have a dream. Don't I just mean some ambition to become the leader of my own domain of business? Also dream of building a happy family together with a partner I could spend my life with. I want 2 kids at the very least. It'd be nice to be able to do some sports to the whole family and many more things besides that. I have to talk with Shannon about that kind of thing. Though every time I do, she always laughs and says I'm getting ahead of myself. For some reason, even at the age I am now, I find myself thinking about what it'd be like to live peacefully in my old age, with healthy, grown-up kids and grandchildren running all around all over the place. If only I could spend the rest of my life as a slow-paced runner by that together with Shannon forever. Yeah, you're definitely getting ahead of yourself. But how should I say it? It sounds like you, George Nissan. Being surrounded by a family like that would probably be so wonderful. The ideal family I paint in my mind is something like that. The Shannon, who had been raised in an orphanage, the harmonious image of a family was probably something we yearned for, and George had made an absolute promise to grant that wish for her, and may truly have been a fitting person for her to spend her life with. To Jessica, Shannon was a precious friend. George was surely the one most fit to entrust a friend's future, too. Well, I don't want to throw cold water on you guys, but Uncle Hiyoshi aside, what are you going to do about Aunt Eva? Won't it be pretty tough to her when her over? There's no reason for anyone to worry about something like that. No one but me gets any say in who I choose to be my partner. I will bring Shannon's happiness. Whose permission do I need for that? Whoa, George, you said that was cool. Can't believe you could say stuff like embarrassing out loud. I don't remember you ever being that kind of character in the past. As I say, if you don't see a boy for 3 days, you should watch him closely. I grew as much as anyone. I intended to study more, grow to be the man Shannon deserves, the one who can bring her happiness. Maybe even George realized how embarrassing the words came out of his mouth were. His face turned very slightly red and scratched his head. George Nissan, it's okay. I'm sure Mother will be difficult, but you can leave that to me. You'll see. I'll make all other relatives accept you as my partner. Awesome. I'm thrilled to be Shannon. Seriously, I'm very grateful that you're willing to go so far. Come to think of it, I'm starting to feel like a third wheel. Maybe I better leave, huh? I was just going to rouse with a forced smile from the bed she'd be sitting on. The phone rang. Before Jessica picked up the receiver, wondering what this could be about, Shannon looked at the clock and jumped. Apparently she spent too much time on her break. I'm sorry, if I forgot it was time for work, then if you'll excuse me. At the same time, Jessica picked up the phone. Shannon began dashing out of the room. Shannon again, the usual time at the usual place. Yes. Excuse me. Hello, it's Jessica, Genji-san. Yeah, Shannon's going back to you guys now. We held her up, so please don't scold her. Yeah, yes. I see, so it's almost time for them to get ready for dinner. Many plates were lined up on the counter in the kitchen. Preparations for dinner were proceeding steadily. The number of plates lined up there was 19. There was one more than we should have been set up for the annual family conference. I can't accept it. Why can't deliver it directly? Goto-san floated up again. She paying no heed to the pot that was spitting steam. Master enjoyed eating alone in his study, so his food needed to be served in that room. However, that always had happened. Of course, Goto-san would want to be set at the table for the master with his own hands, since he put his heart and soul into cooking. But the master had imposed a strict rule that none but his servants bearing the gold eagle crest enter his study. So all Goto-san would be able to greet the master outside the study. Not once had he been able to granted the honor of carrying his cooking inside. Goto-san was always irritated by this. Of course, he was a newcomer in terms of years of service. However, he had piled up plenty of experience from his previous jobs. He was quite confident that he'd be able to perform in front of Kenzo, no matter that would do him no disservice. And yet, simply because he was not permitted to wear the golden eagle, he still had been blessed with this honor. Can you imagine what damage it would do to his pride? You might think Tanat was a repeat of that, but it wasn't, because Tanat was a person other than the master who wanted the food carried to their room. Apparently, this person is extremely rare and honored guest. We've been given strict orders to treat them in the same manner as the master of the family had. Goto-san must have been wanting to earn some points by serving his honored guest with his own hands. After all, he was an extremely vain person. If he wasn't qualified to serve the master, then at least a guest of the same rank. He simply couldn't find time during lunch, so Goto-san had gone in his place. So he truly decided to personally serve this person tonight's meal at the best dinner of the year. But Genji's had to put a stop to that. Something about how Goto didn't wear the golden eagle after being told once more that he wasn't qualified. Goto-san lost his patience. I saw heart-training Goto-san. I could not do anything more than watch like this in the shadows. Kuma-san, if you have enough free time to dawdle around, please get the dining hall ready. Is the tablecloth set? Oh, my apologies. When it became her turn to bear his wrath, Kuma-sama slid out into the hall. Peaches almost of exactly the same rank as the master. All rules regarding to her are respected just as much as those involving the master. Goto-san, please devote your attention entirely towards your own task and serve all the relatives. I wouldn't mind if it was you, Genji-san, but really, is it okay to let a child like this serve such a guest? If she made some blunder, it would be quite embarrassing. I know they've served here a long time, but that doesn't mean they've been trained in proper areas. If you'll allow me to speak freely, they are completely lacking in the fundamentals that might qualify them to interact with such guests. Goto spoke bluntly, even though Shannon was standing right there in the kitchen. Shannon was the one whom Genji had ordered to carry dinner to Beatrice's room. By the ranking system among the servants permitted to wear the golden eagle, Shannon certainly was the second highest in rank. The highest rank, Genji, would sit at the table in Kenzo's room, then it fell to Shannon to sit at the table in Beatrice's room. Goto's pride was horribly injured by this ranking system. At times like this, he'd speak up bluntly and really against Shannon and Cannon. Goto kept raising examples of each of Shannon's failures until now making a ruckus about how she couldn't do this, or was terrible at that. Shannon, who listened to this with her head hung in shame, heard Can's voice from behind her. Can had been leaning against the wall in the hallway near the kitchen's entrance in a blind spot from the inside and had been listening to all of this. He probably knew that if he entered the kitchen, sparks will start to fly his way. I got to say it, the man's scum, but we could learn a lot about the fundamentals of entertaining guests from him. Goto-san has learned so much so he'd be a great reference. Nissan, you sure are nice. More importantly, is the guest in the VIP room really beat you so much, they say? Yes, I met her when I went to serve her lunch. There really could be no doubt of it, sir. Really, though she's doing well. Can't remember that he and Shannon had different impressions of Beatrice. The Shannon Beatrice was a cupid of love who granted her magic to establish a relationship with George. Judging by the expression that was to her face, it looked like she couldn't wait to inform Beatrice of how her relationship with George had progressed. However, Ken already knew the witch came here with a terrifying goal in mind. The nebulous witch that had only been able to see in the past and now revived so fully that she could walk in openly the front door, and even dinner carried to her. Once she vanished from the front of Cannon, the witch says about her own power still weak. So if that witch was now appearing so openly, did that mean she finally regained her former power? And she said something else too. She definitely said that she sown, the seeds of love which fully were that they would fail. And she said even more. She definitely said that the day had finally come upon which the door to the Golden Land would be opened. Shannon, she's planning to hold some bizarre ceremony with the master, and you can bet it'll be something too horrible to imagine, and no one will be able to resist. What are you talking about? She came here as the master requested, so that the door to the Golden Land would open, so that everything would be returned to the Golden Land. She definitely said that to me. In the past, the two of them as furniture working for Kansas have been told the opening of the door to the Golden Land meant, so she understood everything without having to ask a single question, and because of that, she felt a deep despair. Something tore at Kenneth's heart as he looked at her expression twisted with grief. How could? Why now? Didn't I tell you we are furniture? Because you act like a human, because of your love, you're incapable of obediently accepting that day our service comes to an end. Once I wished this day would come, but it never came year after year. I didn't know how long we would be forced to endure suffering as furniture, so I thought the day of rest wouldn't come for all eternity. I thought the same thing, but I believed that it would definitely come someday, so I never forgot that I'm furniture. But Nissan, you did forget. It's my fault, isn't it? It was I who... Yeah, it's your fault, Nissan. If only you hadn't experienced love, we'd both be happy that this day has finally come. You built up too many pointless regrets, even though you knew you'd have to leave this world someday. Will the ceremony begin tonight? Yes. And she said one more thing. Tonight, George Sama would probably give you an engagement ring, Nissan. That was a fact. George supposedly had an engagement ring hidden in his pocket today, and surely he would hand it over tonight. She brought you two together, planning to use you as sacrifices of the second twilight. Get it? She tempted you and took advantage of you. I see. I never thought of that. But she told me, she promised that if you two don't accept the engagement ring tonight, you won't be chosen as a sacrifice, Nissan. I think our chances of being able to go to the Golden Land together are very slim. There will be 13 sacrifices. Only 5 will be left alive. The chances of us being part of that group are tiny. But if you just accept her offer, those chances will rise. I want to take that bet. Our salvation is in the Golden Land. We're going to reach that place to gain humanity, and then I want to live life as a human together with you, Nissan. If we do that, we might be able to find true love. In the past, we used to dream about being able to go to the Golden Land. If we go there, any wish will be granted. We'll be safe from this pain. That's what we believed. However, in this ceremony, only a few people will be invited to the Golden Land, chosen by fate and chance. Everyone else will lose their life as a sacrifice midway through the ceremony. However, in the past, Shannon and Cannon had thought that whether they reached the Golden Land or were sacrificed, they would still be released from their duties as furniture. That meant this ceremony would definitely bring release to furniture like them, no matter what happened. I don't like it. Together with you, I want to make up for all the suffering we've endured. I won't become a sacrifice. Nissan and I will remain alive, and we'll reach the Golden Land together. So I won't let you become the sacrifice of the second twilight. Please, Nissan, don't accept that man's ring. If you don't accept it, she's promised not to select you as a sacrifice. I cannot do that. Tonight's ring is very special. My heart won't let me refuse it. Nissan, the sacrifice of the ceremony decided on the witch's whims, and that witch was promised to overlook just you, Nissan. You alone will definitely be able to go to the Golden Land. Only me? What about you, Kennecon? The witch's game is enough for me. I'll slip through her clutches. I am not powerless. I'll tightly grasp by fate chance. After all, our lives are transient, aren't they? In order to begin our real lives, let's drag ourselves to the Golden Land. Then we'll gain humanity. And when we done that, maybe I'll be able to experience romance just like you, Nissan. Maybe I won't have to make someone cry just because I'm furniture. Kennecon, I've had enough of being furniture. I'll definitely become human. I'll skip this pain no matter what. There were tears in Kenneth's eyes, but now Ken had noticed Shannon hadn't been the only one to know, suffer from the taste of love. He had tears Jessica shown him that day, and Jessica's pitiful face as she tried to smooth things over stayed bright ever since then. It slowly wrought some kind of change on Kenneth's heart without him knowing it. Shannon, I've been calling to you for some time now. Shannon jumped at the sudden sound of Genji's voice. Apparently he had called for her repeatedly. She hurriedly answered. When she turned her back, Cannon had disappeared. It seemed that he didn't feel like showing his tears to anybody. Yes, I'm sorry for being careless. I trusted Cannon with lunch, but it should have been you as the next drink and after me who carried it. Beat yourself as the most honored guest of this house. There's no more honored guest than her. Please take it first. I'm another master and be polite. Please take extra care that you take no blunders, understand? It is quite painful for me to entrust this to someone. I think experience is yourself, but there's nothing we can do about the house's rules. Carry out your duties with the utmost of care. Good had officially agreed, but he glared at Shannon with an expression that told her he definitely wouldn't forgive any mistakes. Even Shannon felt that Good might as well go himself if she was still desperate to go. But she considered this as one of her responsibilities as the one who had been allowed to wear the golden eagle had to give up. And anyway, I wanted to meet Beatrice. What will I talk about? What will I ask? I don't know. Will this be a meeting of gratitude or one of grief? Or else what? I don't know. Shannon piled the witch's food into the serving cart and left their kitchen at a slow pace. The person knocking was Cross. Father, today's our annual family conference. Have it the siblings gather here just to get a glimpse of you? Be silent. I said I won't leave. You're here too, aren't you, Genji? Why haven't you had my food right here, so I ordered you to. Kirito skimmed across the door. Genji is waiting behind Cross. Your meals were prepared so that I might be carried to the study. However, Cross-sama has expressed his wish that you eat downstairs tonight. Father, I'm not asking you to do this every day. Just for this one night, I want you to gather together your family. Who do you call family? Since when have you considered vultures circling the way for a roadkill to be family? Would you call rotting, oozing maggots family as well? My. Cross shook his answer, which she had half expected. Genji carried the meal here as you were told. Why don't you listen to what I say? Why? Genji son, I leave this in your capable hands. My voice will no longer reach that man. Cross gave his head a small shake to quickly turn his back on the door to the study. He only come calling to save his face in front of his siblings, knowing full well how useless this was. After Genji watched Cross disappear down the stairs, he called again across the door. Master, we have finished preparations for your meal to be carried here. Shall we bring some for Dr. Nacho as well? Nacho could be seen in the study because Kinzo forcibly pestered him into finishing their long-lasting chess game they had been playing against each other since their early evening. Nacho had announced to the doctor that Kinzo's days were numbered, so he couldn't refuse if Kinzo demanded that they finish this game while he still lived. Kinzo was thinking deeply about this move, concentrating more than usual. It had been Kinzo's turn for some quite time, and Nacho, who was tired of waiting, had randomly pulled out a book of magic that he couldn't understand, and was skimming it. Kinzo-san, you want to think of a good move just by pulling your arms sitting in front of the board. Perhaps we did take a break and refresh our minds. Be silent. It should be enough to solidify from a defense. Will the bishop and knight be able to penetrate that opening? So that Kinzo was focused on maintaining a strong defense. Normally, Kinzo's motto was that offense was the best defense. However, today was completely the opposite. I am also hungry. Shall we suspend the game here? Besides, I'm used to my head so much without a breakdown. I'm already feeling dizzy. I just say I'm not able to perform at my best. Now that won't do. And in chess, both players must always make their best moves. Any other sort of move is merely a nuisance to consider ruining a game whose focus is predicting your opponent's thoughts. Such a thing considerably reduces our enjoyment. Kizo sighed deeply and finally shifted his gaze away from the board. Chess is a chess with an opponent. If that opponent is tired and wants to spin the game, there's no getting around it. True, the goal of chess is for both players to make the best possible moves and aim for victory. It's an intellectual game where reading your opponent is key. But Kansas, have you forgotten that there's another goal besides victory? What other goal could it possibly be? To think that you of all people would forget something like that. Chess is a way to pass the time having fun with a friend. You got me there. I believe I said once those exact words to you long ago. Yes, you got me there. Kenzo, who almost always wore a frown, relaxed his face for once and laughed. Nacho felt like he'd been reunited with a close friend he had seen in ages. That's how it is. That I managed to take a shot back at you. What do you say? Will you go down with me and have dinner? Why don't we discuss Kasparov's middle game along with some coffee? An appealing proposition, but I'm afraid I must decline. I can no longer leave this room. After all, the ceremony has already begun. Is that so? Well, my stomach is growling. I will go downstairs anytime you feel like it. Nacho, thank you. Oh, can you be thanking me for it? We didn't finish our match. However, it seems I have somehow achieved that second goal of chess, which I had forgotten. And it would appear that a goal is no less important than achieving checkmate. This isn't like you. Why so sentimental? You said yourself, did you not? My days in this world are numbered. Now go, and don't come to this room again. Let us continue this match in the Golden Land. That's fine with me, but we'll have to start over. Losing that rook was a serious blow. Well, then I will see you later. Yes, later. Maybe in the Golden Land or in Purgatory, or possibly in the next world. None of this say anything beyond that. And with that motion made smooth by familiarity, he pushed the little button on the table that released auto-lock. And after looking at Kinzo's back when last time he left the study. As he did, Gidget's voice came from the hall. If you are ready, Master, I will now carry in your dinner. It may be my final dinner. I must savor it. Please prepare it as you wish. And here your preparations complete as well, Master. Indeed, the time leading up to today, this room has been carefully wrapped in a multitude of barriers. Even if Arilla chooses me, I will definitely repel it. I will remain alive and surely become one of those who reach the Golden Land. I surely pulse the face of the Reapers trying to jack off to the land of the dead. Excuse me, I have come to serve your meal. Shen into the VIP room, bowing her head and pushing the serving cart. The woman by the window, gazing out into the supposedly empty darkness, was definitely that witch. So it is Shannon this time. How long has it been? Oh, your face is only as pale as it once was. I can see you're no canon. I hardly recognize you. Thank you very much. Shannon suddenly prepared dinner. There were actually several things she wanted to ask the witch, but they were all jumbled up and she didn't know where to start. Her heart was also jumbled up and she didn't even understand her own emotions, so she could only do her job this passionately with everything still vague. However, the witch saw that was in her heart. You can't hide anything from a witch. I want to apologize. I am a witch after all. Apologize for what? Come now, Kenan must have told you about it. I only rescued your love life because of my mischievous spirit. It was nothing more than a seed I sowed, so I could watch your love grow complicated, become twisted, and fail. I imagine some people think it's more fun to hear about it, love to have it. Wait, blah, 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 blah. Wait, let me say that again, okay. I imagine some people think it's more fun to hear about love than to have it. Okay, yeah, you couldn't possibly be trying to think me, right? I am. No matter what kind of ulterior motive you had when you gave me the magic of love, I doesn't change the fact that I received it from you. So even if you sowed that seed, knowing that the two of us wouldn't be able to stay together for life, I won't hold a grudge against you. It seems furniture is dull after all. Kako, this is where I show my skill by cooking into something interesting. I don't understand what you're thinking, Beatrice. I'm like, you're a great witch, and people like us don't even reach your feet, nor can we even imagine your grand thoughts. But there is at least one thing I can say. What is it? Thank you for teaching me to be human. You said it yourself. I'm no longer furniture. Be someone furniture. If you were a true human, here then that's of your death, on the day that you receive an engagement ring, you should have you dancing around mouth of grief. But what are you doing? Your face looks so unlikely, so you accepted everything. Truly an anticlimax furniture. No, I'm not furniture. Be silent, furniture. I won't be silent because I am not furniture. Are you saying that you won't obey my orders? Furniture obeys orders, but a human decides for herself whether to obey orders or not, so I won't obey your orders. Cackle. I take back what I said. You really are interesting. If I hadn't sold those seeds, you probably would have allowed the ceremony to control your fate without clinging to any emotions. But now you've going to become something truly interesting, something that will entertain me to no end. That as well, for I am not fond of boredom. Cackle. Dinner's ready. Here you go. Does it look delicious? If Goda makes it to the Golden Land, perhaps I shall commission him as my chief cook. I heard from Kanekon something about half of George's son's proposal. He promised to take me as sacrifice. Make me. Indeed. I said as much. You should make an ideal potential sacrifice in the second twilight. Because Canon cried and screamed, asking would I spare you. I graciously listened to his words, with the condition that you abandon your engagement, of course. Cackle, see how gracious I am? What a foolish offer, what a foolish threat. So you used that to thoroughly bully Kanekon, did you? Oh, so you comprehend. Cackle. Apparently, Sharon had seen through it. She apparently guessed how the witch bullied and humiliated killing him with that horrible promise as bait. I made him crawl on the carpet and kiss my shoes. Cackle. And that's not all. Do you want to hear the other ways that I humiliated him? Sharon silently shook her head. I finally come to understand you. You like to bully, confuse, and trouble people, and you do it to entertain yourself. So now I know for sure the single something and what that might be. I don't care about you. I'll carry out the fate that's given to me. That's all. I won't entertain you. I don't care about you. The witch's features twisted in hatred just an instant. It disappeared immediately, but the exception that briefly rose her face was rare for the witch, whose malicious smile usually never faded for a second. Cackle, cackle, cackle. I see, so you might resist in that way. How amusing, how truly entertaining. I'll kill you, you and your lover both. If that's the fate you decide upon us, do as you will. I won't be afraid and I won't sin against you. After all, I don't believe the cruel fate that's coming is something controlled by your will. We humans know something about fates that might come to pass in the future. That's why I'll live to the fullest until the last instant, following my convictions and the fate set before me. Fate is just a roll of dice. There's no malice in it. Even if you claim there is, I won't believe it. Oh, so even though you've been quit being furniture, you have no fear of death. It seems you believe this will bore me, but you couldn't be more wrong. The thought of seeing whether you can hold on to that view until the last moment merely serves to intrigue me more and more. Cackle, cackle, cackle. I can't stand this. Why did you take the form of a human, appear in front of us, speak with human words of ridicule us? If you hadn't appeared in front of us, if you hadn't predicted the future, we would have been able to live life to the fullest until the last moment. That's what witches do. I live off your fate's reigning as high order being does over low order beings. Your fates are nothing more than fragments. If I cut my hands together, I could scoop out as many of those as I want. I just like, no matter what that beef cow I raise my babble, it doesn't change the fact that I'll be having them for dinner. Cackle, cackle. We are powerless, so we might not fight against your ceremony or fate, but I can make you happy right now. Oh, and how were you planning to accomplish this? By walking away from this place right now, no matter how I respond to your words, it will only amuse you. Refusing to respond to your questions is my only method of resisting you. I see. You might be able to take a shot at me. You cannot defeat me, yes. I have the power to kill anyone for eternity. I cannot wait to see whether you keep up that resistance and endlessly repeating cycle of death and rebirth. Don't you forget it, okay? You spoke those words yourself. Cackle, cackle. Well then, if you will excuse me, if you need anything, please call me. Shannon gave a reserved bow and faced away. With that gesture, she may be able to really did take a shot back at the witch, just as Beatrice had said. Because the witch called out again, she's on a little bit more quick-tempered than she had before. Hannah thanked me, can't you? Can't you thank me for bringing you the day of rest? Furniture may be happy with their day of rest comes, but I am a human, so I have nothing to thank you for. Is that all you have to say? You plan to accept Church's ring, yes. Don't you forget that if you do, I will abandon the promise I made with Canon, the promise that you would not be accepted as a sacrifice. If you need anything else, I'll have someone else come. If you will excuse me. Flat-out interruption. Shannon still hadn't answered her. The sound of the door closing came instead of an answer. Shannon's resistance probably struck far more deeply into the witch than Shannon herself thought. Because an expression of hatred once again rose to Bitch's face. She had made Canon submit even though he had been ensnared until the end. Whereas Shannon, who had been so easily ensnared before, refused to submit this time. I see. So in this state of affairs, it's amusing after all. Cackle, cackle. Perhaps I really am still young. This is why I haven't tired of life after 1,000 years. This was the most fabulous part of the family conference, dinner. In the past, when Kento had been serious about the conference, he'd taken everyone's yearly gathering for dinner very seriously. But I think the embarrassing that occurred during the dinner would cause the deepest shame for him as the host. He had given Natsuhi stern orders to avoid the embarrassment at all costs. Because of that, she and Cross eventually hired Goda, who had confidence in his cooking abilities. Thanks to that, they gave him able to serve wonderful dinners they would be confident in. But by that time, Kento had closed himself up in this study and never appeared for dinner. Maybe you could call that ironic. When the main dish for tonight, calf steak, was set out, Goda began to describe it proudly, further stimulating everyone's appetites. The sauce here is bordelas. Of course, the red wine base I used was excellent, even among those made in Bordeaux. I don't know. But in addition, I prepared an original blend of this house, a blend of choice alcohol from around the world to further deepen the taste. This sauce is limited to this year. I sincerely hope you all enjoy your meal. Isn't that wonderful? However, this Bordelais is also common to French cooking. It almost seems like he's alcohol from outside France, but that is heresy. Cross time of today's annual family conference, as a dinner is for those who normally live far away and who travel far from across the world together, I realized it would be most fitting to have a sauce made from a blend of fine alcohols from all over the planet that had never met each other before. So I had it specially prepared. Wonderful, truly wonderful cook, that's what you are. Food and medicine work twice as well if you sell it right. It's already twice as delicious as normal food, and the advertising makes it twice as good as that. The taste keeps doubling. Giggle, come on, son. This question of yours was obviously a plant. No doubt about it, you totally said go to sign up to steal the show on that one. You think so? I thought there might be some people here who didn't notice that today's food was in the French style. After all, Eva just said that avoiding butter was a virtue, but that's Spanish style. I guess they do share a border, right? That's not what I meant. Will you not please take a part of the conversation out of context and make stuff up? It's a very delicious sauce. Good son, you certainly are amazing. It is a great honor to receive your praise, and this is all thanks to Madame's habitual guidance. No, it's all Goda's idea. I only listened to the recipe and approved of it. It looked like the siblings quickly got into a loud argument about the sauce, but for the most part, dinner proceeded peacefully. However, a certain question they display wanted to ask a burden to each one of them. It was about the visit of the 19th person, the Golden Witch. In actuality, Eva and Rudolph and the rest were very much on the guard during this meal. Administrative guests is never going to be introduced. The dinner table would be the most appropriate place to do it. However, there no place to set the dinner table for the witch. The family conference began in earnest after the meal. And the previous experiences told them that this might last until deep into the night. However, they couldn't imagine why such a person should be kept hidden until that late if they were going to be introduced in any way. So even Rudolph and the rest were starting to feel a certain suspicion. Perhaps this case was unknown to even Cross. Even if this was an assassin called by Cross that gave him an advantage of the inheritance problem, then maybe they should speak frankly to Cross beforehand, creating a common front to resist anything disadvantageous to the four siblings. If she was Kinzo's assassin, those whose purpose was to keep the inheritance from being handed over to the four siblings, the enmity between Cross and the other siblings could only become a weak point that benefited from the enemy. Well, then please enjoy your leisure. When he finished explaining the reason behind the table setting the cooking, Gooder tried to leave the room, but Carrie called him to stop with a small voice. Yes, Carrie-sama, what is it? Please excuse me. I was under the impression we had company today, but can we expect to be joined at the dinner table? She had planned on saying it nonchalantly, but unfortunately he reached the ears of Natsuhi, who was sitting next seat over. It seemed that Natsuhi had even heard. It seemed that Natsuhi had heard it as though, even though the guests are here, why does the host come to dinner? In other words, that Kari had whether Kenzo was going to join them for dinner. The family had decided his best so he could take dinner in a study, but believe my husband explained that at the beginning. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. Natsuhi's reaction instantly told Kari that this unknown visitor was also unknown to Cross and his wife, which meant on the chessboard inside Kari's mind she couldn't hear the clatter of the pieces they rearranged themselves. With the enemy of company, Battler has been sitting next to Natsuhi, seen him, heard Kyrie's words without misunderstanding them. Thinking it's strange that someone else would be invited to today's family conference that spoke up incredibly dubiously. Okay. And thanks to that, the uncomfortable feeling that building the siblings' chests among just suddenly exploded. Everyone looked at Good at the same time. Judging by their reactions, it was clear that no one here invited that mystery woman. For an instant, Good startled to find anyone's gazes together on him, but because of his naturally vain personality, this actually gave him a feeling of superiority. Therefore, he answered in an extremely calm and graceful manner. That is correct. Our guests want to eat alone. The VIP room is being served there. That extremely graceful and reasonable response of Good made it obvious to everyone that 19th person had a visitor existed. The VIP room, I guess. Who are you talking about? Natsuhi's words echoed the question that everyone who didn't know about the Princess of the Golden Witch was thinking. For all, Godo was disoriented, caught completely off guard by the sudden interrogation. This was a guest who had been treated with such respect. He can't imagine that Cross and his wife might not even know about her. The guest on Beatrice-sama. Beatrice, Beatrice came, who, remember, I had been telling the other cousins over and over again that she had met Beatrice that day. The cousins finally flippantly, but they hadn't believed, so their eyes grew wide. I'm sorry, I totally thought you were joking, Mariah, so she really was there. By Beatrice, he meant that Beatrice the Gold. Ooh, I've been saying that she exists the whole time. No one believes. Sorry, Mariah-chan, that's right, not how he meant it. After learning that everyone had doubted Beatrice's existence, Mariah, who had been in a good mood all day, completely lost her temper. George was sent and exited over to frantically call Mariah. Go to assistant for dinner entertainment. He got a performance. Anarchy, quit playing dumb. You called her here, right? Called whom? From where? Nissan, let's be clear about this. Who is she? Surely you aren't going to tell us it really is a bitch from the portrait, right? I don't have a clue what people are talking about. Go to, you aren't really joking, right? I was just ordered by Genji-san. Call for Genji immediately. And as he yelled, go to sped out into the hallway. The sound of the door being thrown was the spark that suddenly set the dinner table ablaze. So you're saying that you're in the dark too, Anarchy? Who called her? Who is it, Dad? Was it Dad? I don't know anything about this. It seems that you people think I've been pulling the strings behind the scenes, but this is a huge misunderstanding. Calm down, Krusty. It's time we got into the past stage of skirmishing with each other. If you're saying, even if you don't know it, the mystery person, something crazy is going on. Hideyoshi, can you be a little more discreet with your words? My husband would not invite unnecessary people to the family conference. Obviously, what do you people think talking about? Are you saying that the witch of the porch has broken out of her frame and appeared? And so everyone's actually met this witch face to face. I met her, even Rudolph not at Rose's proclamation. Ooh, I met her too. Uncle Cross, believe it. Believe Mama, ooh. The rave station broke and Marcel also started to make a ruckus. By now the room was thoroughly wrapped in chaos. I don't have a clue what's going on, so what does it mean? Does it mean the witch gave grandfather the gold to showing up the special guest this year? But is it really true? Aunt Rosa didn't see it wrong, did she? I met her too. Ooh. Aunt Rosa, are you sure? Yes. Mariah and I met her and we even talked to her. I met her. That was definitely a witch. Believe me. I definitely didn't see it wrong, hallucinating or anything. What on earth was that? And the instant before the typhoon arrived, Rosa definitely met a witch in the Rose Garden, but the scene had been so hard to accept as truth. The more she spoke of it like this, the less she understood what it was she had encountered. Ironically, since she was losing her composure, the more frantically she had clinging to her clan, the more confused and hazy the thing she was describing became. Because of that, it only took a single calmly spoken sentence to come from the nature of what she was describing beyond doubt. I also met with her. I greeted well. I couldn't really call it that. I actually did a few words with her. It's definitely not something Rosa just saw wrong. Chris, are you serious? Yes, but she didn't tell me her name, so I can't say for certain if she is Beatrice. However, and sorry if this is subjective, but since I met her in interest, so I was able to compare her face with the portrait. My first impression was that the portrait has to be hers. This is all just subjective. That is impossible. In the first place, where did you woman come from? The only boat arriving today was the one that brought all of you here. Was she on that boat? Well, it is hard to say for sure. Of course, I don't remember any woman like that getting off the boat with us. Oh, is that all? Can you prove that there was another boat besides the one we rode on? You can't. You can't prove that one didn't arrive. Makes sense. If another boat did arrive, it might have been possible to prove it. If someone saw it and said they saw it, then you're done. But it's impossible to prove that such a boat didn't arrive. Even if anyone says I know such a boat arrived, they didn't see it arrive. You can't prove that it didn't arrive secretly. It's that thing they call devil's proof. To be simple, to prove that devils exist, all you have to do is meet a devil. It's possible to prove that the devils don't exist just by saying that no one has ever met a devil. You can't deny the possibility that they're hiding away somewhere humans can't go. You can't deny the existence of aliens for exactly the same reason. Until humans search the whole of space, they can show perfectly that aliens don't exist. You can't assure that they don't exist. And definitely impossible for us to ever check the entirety of space for the existence of aliens. Therefore, while there may be a number of ways to prove that aliens do exist, it will always be impossible to show proof that denies their existence. So any discussion about there being a second boat would just be a waste of our time. She was on the boat with us, that much is a fact, so she must have arrived on this island through some other means. That's right, there may no need to be discussed how she came here. What's important is that she's actually in the mansion right now and doesn't feel like having dinner with us. Okay, let's review. Right now there's another guest on this island other than the 18 people with the Oshimura family, and this guest is even Anarchy, and that's who he doesn't know about, right? I know nothing, I don't know what you're talking about. Be silent for now, your headache will get worse. It's as my wife says, I have no idea what you people have been talking about up until now. There's going to be one answer. Father called her here for today's family conference. The family conference again? Why? I don't know that. I'm questioning you because I thought you might know. Eva, could you give it a rest? Krusty-san says she doesn't know. So here's what we got. Father stealthily invited the witch of the porch as a secret guest, and she met with Rosa and Mariah and then Kari-san. That's all for now. She has been to say to us she could just show herself right away. Now we gotta wonder why she shut herself up without greeting us. Does that mean Dad, who never gave a crap about the family conference in the first place, secretly called new mistress here and her wear the clothes of the deal witch? This day is so important for that explanation to fly. There we go. There can only be one reason to join on the family conference. She wants to claim some right to father's inheritance. Ridiculous. The family head wouldn't have something as fault as a mistress. I told you to be quiet. I lived in this much without father all this time, and I never heard anything about something like that. If this stretches possibility to the limit and assumed father had a legitimate child so much as decades ago, then maybe father searched out and called her here today. Is that what you're trying to say? Dear, it's absurd to think father such a child to waste a noble blood that you share me a family on a mistress. It's nothing more than a few people making wild claims. It's obviously a fantasy, a delusion, a daydream. Or as they want to take part in some kind of act to trick my husband. What act, if anyone's acting his shoe? Quit anarchy, not so he saw, maybe a bit over vehement, but she's right. Carrie saw her then, I didn't. Neither did you, Anarchy, but Rosa did. But that means she exists. There are people who can't prove that she exists, so we're sure right away that she does. It's the opposite of a devil's proof. And I want to meet her too. I want to ask her directly what kind of business she has to issue me a family. I agree with you on that. I do indeed wish to inquire as to what business she has on Rokunjima. Don't play dumb. There's the one thing that she could be after, father's inheritance. We should work out our future plans with a lawyer who's hot on inheritance issues. If the mistress claims equal rights as a mother, then insurers will be cut right in half. Well, wait a second, everybody. Kenji-san will come very soon. He knows everything. I'm sure he'll answer our questions. Until then, let's stop talking about this. Hey, you kids. Sorry, but the adults have to start talking about something complicated. Return to the guest house. Rosa yelled at the children, slightly overcome with emotion. The children understand why they were suddenly being yelled at this time, but Eva and the rest realized it was too late. They were talking so bluntly about the filthy topic of the inheritance ran from the children. Of course, they didn't want the children to remain. So they all immediately agreed with Rosa's plan. That's right, just as Rosa's son, George, take all the cousins and go back to the guest house. You all play nice together. George, it is your toad. Tell all the cousins to leave right now. Wait a second, Mother. We still haven't finished eating. Ooh, and dessert hasn't even come yet. Ooh. We will have go to the son and take the dessert to the guest house, so leave. Jessica in front of the adults will be talking together. Go. Sure, even though I'm still eating. Well, I guess I won't be the only exception. Thanks for understanding, Battlecon. But you sure are lucky. Huh? Why? I'd learn to leave if I could. I bet. I'll let you adults enjoy your happy family chat about the inheritance. I'll always leave my seat. I also leave my seat. At any rate, it appears my turn will not come tonight. Ninja quietly rose to his feet from his seat in the father's corner. He had been calmly watching the whole discussion without butting in. Surely the reaction of his was very adult, just what you expect of a calm old gentleman. When Dodger rose from his seat, ended up encouraging the others who were supposed to leave. The children noisily rose from their seats as they hurried into the hallway. The servants returned. All apologies for taking so long. I have called Genji. I was checking to see that all the doors and windows were shut, so it took me some time. My apologies. Come on, children, to the guest house. Go to son, my apologies, but could you carry the children's portion of the dessert to the guest house? Is that what you wish? It seemed Godo was in a means to make see dinner. He worked so hard on interrupted like this. He sent Natsuhi a look as though asking her whether that was really okay. Do as well the son says, and it will not be necessary to set out dessert for us. Do not approach the dining hall until we call for you. Tell the rest of the servants to do the same. Understood? Yes, as you wish. Come, everyone, shall we go? Mariah-san, you must have trouble your mother anymore. Ooh, I want to talk about Biyuto too. No. Ooh. Mariah-san, could you tell us about Regis in the guest house? I really want to hear about the witch, okay? Ooh. You're pretty darn smooth, George Nissan. I'm impressed. Are you sister? You don't have kids? You're too used to this. George's words had completely restored Mariah's good mood. Now she took the initiative, telling the others to head on to the guest house. It looked like Godo didn't like being kicked out himself, but he couldn't disobey Natsuhi, so he left the room with Battler and the rest, closing the door. Is there some way I might be of service to everyone? Yeah, there is. We got a whole bunch of questions. In fact, anyone knows so much that we almost want to have a lottery so you gets asked for first. No matter who wins the first lottery, the first one should be the same, won't it? That's right. Genji-san, answer me honestly. Who is this person called Beatrice in the VIP room right now? Alright, guys. I'll be ending the video here. So I will see you guys later.